So now I'm making the dressing for the salad because it needs to be refrigerated to get its flavors in there more. So basically what I'm doing is 1/4 cup of olive oil, 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar, get this. So basically, if you want to make more and to store it, equal parts of olive oil and red wine vinegar. And then then we're gonna get a lemon, and the lemon is 2 tablespoons, which I'm just going to cut it and squeeze half of it in. That should be plenty. So we're gonna squeeze in a tablespoon of lemon juice. It looks like a tablespoon to me. Getting all of that in there. Okay. And then we need 4 medium garlic cloves, which 4 all chopped up, I'm guesstimating that's about 4. You want it garlicky. And then we're going to do 2 tablespoons of oregano. Again, I'm just a guesser. Tablespoons are more than you think. And we want the Dijon mustard. I need to open this up, and it's a tablespoon as well. And you could probably use prepared mustard, but Dijon has just a little zest of flavor to it that the regular mustard doesn't have. This is a 1/2 tablespoon, so we're going to have to do 2 of these. Whoops. And then we're doing salt and pepper, which it's 1½ teaspoons of kosher salt. I have a little bit of the kosher salt yet. Well, none of it all went in my wet hand. I'm adding about a teaspoon of basil. If I had fresh basil, I'd be putting it in there. And then the black pepper is 1/4 teaspoon. Whenever you do the fresh ground pepper, it's a little bit stronger than you get a little more flavor in it. So you don't really need as much as regular pepper. You get coarser. It's coarser, so it has a different flavor. And then I'm going to add it says a teaspoon of sugar. I'm not going to add a whole teaspoon because I don't like a whole bunch of sugar. I'm going to veer off of that a little bit. This is a teaspoon, and I'm putting about 1/4 in. And make sure I have everything I need for it. Now what I'm going to do is I've got this little immersion stick. I'm going to blend it all together. When I get it on there right. I'm going to blend it all together. To get all the flavors. Then after I do that, I'm going to put it in a jar and seal it and put it in the fridge. Now you can make up a bigger, this is a homemade Italian dressing, and you can make it up bigger, more, like I said, just equal parts of the red wine vinegar and the olive oil, and then the others is just a little, you don't have to do equal amounts of the seasonings. It's probably close to the same. Okay, this looks all mixed up, and I'm going to pour it in this jar, and then put it in the refrigerator. And the thing is, before we eat, you want to let it sit for at least 30 minutes, and before you eat, before you use it, before you put it on your salad, you'll want to shake it up. You can see that mustard in it. I want to get all the seasonings that are stuck in this bowl. And you could just, if you don't have one of those immersion things, you can just put it in your jar and seal it up and shake it. I just want to make sure all the mustard got mixed in, is why I did it that way. And it's just fun using gadgets. But you don't have to, if you don't have one of those, you can just shake it up very well right when you make it and then before you serve. I think I got most of the seasonings out of this. And, you know, if you make enough, you can store this in your refrigerator for a while and it'd be good throughout the week. See? Now we're going to store it. So I'm going to go ahead and prep the salad and have it all ready so that when everybody comes, I can just enjoy and be part of all the activities and have everything ready and cooked and ready to go. I've got all the vegetables out. I'm going to go ahead and put the lettuce leaves into the bowl and get that all set up, and then I'll show you the veggies that we're going to put in. Oh, before I even start that, I wanted to show you on the vegetables that I have out. One of the things to do to go ahead and salt the the cucumbers and the tomatoes, so that they already have that on the coating. That just gives them a little more pep flavor when it's in the salad. They're already seasoned up a little more than they'll have the seasoning on them. Go ahead and put some Italian seasoning on the cucumbers. This isn't the best way to open this up, but I am. Let's get those all seasoned up so that when they go in, they'll already have those flavors. So that's sitting there doing that while I get the lettuce in. And the insides of the lettuce is, the tenderest and the youngest and the best part. And I always try to tear it off, not getting the middle, the rib part, because that's usually not the part you like. Sometimes I put some at the top, but not at the bottom. When you buy those bags of lettuce, they have them all like that with the rib and everything. That's why I don't like to buy the bagged lettuce. Make sure they're in bite-sized pieces. Now, the ribs in the middle part aren't as bad. I mean, I'd rather have those than on the outside because they're still pretty tender. The center pieces, I am just cutting the rib, breaking off the ribs and everything, because a lot of them, that is what most of it is. And technically, you like it. It's kind of wet from when I washed it. They're still pretty wet. You want your leaves to be dry. So before I start putting everything in it, I'm going to pat them dry a little more. They have those little air dryer things. But if you just set them out, the leaves out, they'll dry up enough. I just was hurrying and didn't do that. Okay, those are drier. Okay, so now we're going to add our tomatoes to it. See if I want all of these. I don't know that I want all of them. It's quite a bit. And we're going to add our cucumbers that I have cut. It was a half of a cucumber, and then I cut them in halves again, and they're also seasoned up. You can also add pepperoncini peppers to it. That makes it all really good too. This is red pepper sliced very thin, and it's about half of an onion, not a pepper. It's half of a red onion sliced very thin. And then whole black olives. And then I am also going to add my sister pickled beets. So I'm adding beets to this, and if you like beets, you can buy beets in a can at the grocery store too, or you can cook them in your oven, wrap them in foil, and bake them until they're done. But my sister made these as a part of our gift also, so I thought they would be good in the salad. And I'm not adding a whole lot because not everybody likes beets, but I liked it for the color. And then the other thing that I need to get that I don't have for it is Parmesan cheese, and I'll get that out of the fridge in just a minute. I'm going to sprinkle, this is Italian seasoning, and I'm just going to sprinkle on top. With salads, if you go ahead and add seasoning to the salad, it gives it some flavor, and then your dressing will finish it off. And I'm going to do a little Mrs. Dash seasoning because it's salt free, but it has lots of seasoning flavors in it. And a tad of salt, not a lot, because I salted the tomatoes and the cucumbers, so I'm not putting a lot in there. And then I'm going to get the Parmesan cheese. I'm going to add some grated Parmesan cheese. Also, other good choices of cheese, you can add all of them or just one of them, but provolone cut really thin slices, pieces in the salad, or Romano cheese, Romano cheese, Parmesan cheese, mozzarella cheese, the provolone cut thinly. All of those would be really good on the salad. I'm using Parmesan because it's what I have. And that's it. And now we'll just wait. I won't do anything else to it till we add the dressing to it, and then we'll toss it at that time. The other thing is I'm going to make homemade croutons for it, and I bought the French bread at the bakery at the grocery store, and I bought the double small ones because I'm just going to cut them up and cut them into pieces, and I'll show you how I do that. I'll put them in a bowl and toss them in butter and garlic, and then I'll just put them in the oven until they're crispy, and then that will be our croutons. I'm prepping for the croutons. I put a whole stick of butter in this cup, and I'm going to add some garlic, salt, and Italian seasonings, and I'm going to melt the butter, and then I'll show you. We're going to cut up these, and we'll put them all together in there. This is for Italian garlic flavored croutons. And I'll add a little black pepper for touch. Now I'm going to microwave this for 30 seconds. If the butter is not all the way melted, I'll hit 30 more seconds and kind of watch it. While that is cooking, I'm going to cut the bread. I've already cut the bread in half. It was like this, and I cut it in half. And now I'm going to cut it in a quarter each side. I like big croutons. That's beet, but I'm going to just leave it over there a second because it'll keep melting. So we're going to cut these all up in crouton size. Some of them are kind of big, bigger than you might want, and you can cut them down some more if you want. Like some of these are pretty big, you can cut them smaller. Okay, now I'm going to put all of these in this bowl, and then cut the other one, the other half. Cutting some big, some small. I mean, some big, some smaller, for different preferences. There's no right or wrong. Get that one. And then we'll put these all in here. And I'll check my butter. We're going to drizzle my butter all over this and toss it. And I'm going to add some Parmesan to it also. Yeah, that looks done. So this is all melted. And then we're just going to drizzle it in. Kind of all around. Get all the goodies out of it that's stuck in it. All the seasonings stay on the bottom. The garlic always sticks to the bottom, so I do this when I make garlic bread too. That's the way I do it. So we're just making sure the butter gets on everything. And I think that I'll get some Parmesan already shredded. Not shredded, but I'll get this Parmesan to add to it. And I'm just going to shake some in and whoops. And again. And then a little more on that. And that's about it. And I think then I just need to lay them out on a pan with foil. And we're going to spread those out on the cookie sheet. And for now, because it's going to be a while before we eat, so I'm just going to let them sit there because sitting in the air will help dry them out some to make them, that's a big piece, will help dry them out a little bit more before they cook. So that will be good too. So anyways, and then we'll put them in the oven closer to time. That's basically it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.